So our topic today is how do you build a strong team? How do you build a strong team to make sure that your business keeps on growing? So building a strong team in your business. Allow me to first start by observing that when you're starting the business, it sounds like, will I ever get a team? Because you are all alone. And sometimes you talk to a few people, they are not interested, and you tend to lose hope of ever building a team. But the question you must always ask yourself is, how did Josphat and Pieros build such a huge global team of thousands and thousands of members? I hope you're asking yourself that question. And the answer is simple. One man at a time, one woman at a time. You will not get the whole world at once. But I can assure you, if you start prospecting and bringing in people to listen for the presentations, and so you sponsor one, and you'll be looking at some of the strategies you use. Then as you work towards getting the second one, you might come across quite a number of people who are disinterested. And if you don't lose hope, if you don't listen to them, the failures, guess what will happen? You get the second one, the third one. Then some of the people you get, they have joined years, but they don't do the business. You bring in another one to replace the one who didn't do the business. And now this is what happens. Out of, say, the 10 people you have sponsored, you'll get 2 or 3 who are going to give you big numbers. So that you sponsored 10, but 3 are the ones who are building the business. And from the 3, you get even 1,000 people joining your business. That is how our business works. So my starting point is really, you do not want to give up so fast before you get the right people, and you don't want to assume or to imagine that those who have built strong teams did it magically. The process is the same. And so I want to go through some of the things that you want to do for you to build a strong business or a strong team. And the very first one that we all must do, whether you are new or old, is number one, lead by example. Lead by example. That's number one. Lead by example. And you want to ask me, just but I don't have a team, any team member yet in my downline. So how does this one apply? Guess what? If you cannot lead yourself, you will never lead anyone else. So that which you really want your downlines to do, start doing it even before you get someone joining your business. When preachers are being taught how to preach, they don't preach necessarily to real human beings. And they are asked to assume that trees are human beings. So they don't have yet any member in their church, but then they are doing what they would do if they had church members. So they are preaching to the trees. Now, in our business, even when you are alone, assume you have a big team of excited members called you. Remember, you attract who you are. So you better start really becoming the best distributor so that you can attract the best distributors out there. So when we say lead by example, we are saying this, that if you have a person, 2 or 3, whatever the number, or you even don't have yet, please do the basics. Don't become a supervisor. This is an easy to catch disease, becoming a supervisor, where you are telling your downlines what to do, but you yourself, you are not doing. So the point here is, please lead by example. So if it's about prospecting, don't tell your team to prospect. Do it. And if possible, let them see you doing it. Don't tell them to present and you don't present. Let them see you do one-on-ones. And you can do this even when you are just a day old in the business. When I started this business, I remember I was still teaching, and I could talk to my colleague teachers about the business day one. They never went to any training center out there. At the beginning, I was presenting to them within the premises where we were working. And they joined. I brought the kids. I launched the business for them. I was only using what I was taught day one when I was being presented to, and it is sufficient. You just duplicate the same, copy paste the same. So your team will not just imitate your words, they will actually imitate your actions, what they see you do. So do you want to build a strong team? Then don't be a supervisor, be a leader. Lead by example. Let them see how you are doing things and they will copy. But then be consistent. When you're leading by example, you really must be consistent. Don't confuse them. You want them to be attending trainings? Then be consistent in attending trainings. Don't attend once in a while when you feel like, and when you don't feel like, you don't. So that's the first very important thing that you do when you are building a strong team. The second thing that you need to do is to implement a simple onboarding system. And we talked about system last week. Implement a simple onboarding system or process, if you like. Onboarding, making sure that your distributors start in a very simple, not complicated way. When you sponsor somebody, don't complicate the process of getting started during the business launch. Keep it as simple as possible. In fact, that starts even when you are doing the presentation. From the word go, keep everything very simple. Sometimes we think that when you complicate and do a very sophisticated presentation, that is when people will join. No, they will be scared. In fact, they will wonder, if I join, will I ever do this kind of a presentation? So keep it as simple, lively, relatable as possible. And when they join, then when the onboarding, that process of taking them through the literature, back office, keep it as simple as possible. The reason why we say you keep it very simple and make it very easy to duplicate is so that when they bring on board other people, they can easily do what you did for them. So that is what we mean by implementing a simple onboarding process or system. So we are talking of things like, let them write name lists. That's something that anyone can do. Guide them on how to do the name list. Start with your friends, jog your mind, the people you went to school with, your church mates, your workmates, your family, your family members, friends. So you're guiding them on how to do a name list. And anyone can do that, friends. If it's the maybe back office, just take them through the how do you log in, and then how do you navigate, how do you do the shopping, how do you perhaps get to the resources, those very straightforward things. And I have seen people when they join within day one, day two, they are doing orders online. Why? You made it so simple. But there are others who never do orders online because they imagine that they need to be computer wizards for them to be able to do online orders. Yet it's so simple, it's the easiest, better than even filling the order forms. Can we go to number 3? Identify new leaders. Identify new leaders. You might think this is automatic. You might think this is automatic. It's never automatic. In fact, they say it takes a leader to identify another leader. And I want you to agree. When people join your business, this is how you identify leaders or those who are really committed to build the business. This is the litmus paper. This is how you test who are serious, who are ready, and who are not. The first thing is their commitment to attend trainings. That's the first one. The second one is how much they sacrifice their time for the business. You know, they can be attending the trainings, but they're not doing any business out there. So how well are they committing their time to build the business? Number three is they don't give excuses. If there's something that was so easy in our business to give its excuses, why I didn't do this, why I didn't do that. But for those that are really committed, they are the leaders you are able to identify so easily. What will happen is when you tell them to do something, they will do whatever it takes for them to do it. Hey, can you come for the training? They will ask you, why not? When is it? Let me see what I can do. And another appointment, let me see what I can do about it. But the others, you tell them, hey, we'll have Superstars Team Convention next year, 2027, in the month of May on 9th. And they'll tell you, that one, I don't think I will be available. Why? They already know they will not be there. Then a week to the event, they'll tell you, you know what, I cannot come because my uncle is sick. So did they know a year ago that the uncle would be sick? I mean, a week to the convention. So they are just experts of giving excuses. But those people who are ready to become leaders in your team, they show up, they don't give excuses. So those are the people you identify. And then you use, when you're working with those leaders, you use what we call 80-20 Pareto principle. Or if you like 20-80 Pareto principle. What that simply means is 20% of your team will give you 80% of the results that you want to get. 20% of your leaders will give you the business, 80% of the total business that you don't get. What that also means is that 80% of the members in your team, they'll give you only 20%. And therefore, you must identify who are these 20% that I need to work with, to commit my time, to sacrifice for. Because they're the most serious people. They are owning the business. They don't look at it like my upline's business. So work with them. Challenge is this. You must identify them very early so that you don't waste too much time trying to work with the people who are not interested and they're not going anywhere. So that's number 3, cultivate new leaders. Encourage them. Share your experience so that you motivate them. Remember, out there we have so many discouragers. So here you must really be very ready to encourage them. Number 4, foster genuine relationships. Foster genuine relationships. From when you are prospecting your friends or people out there, to when they come to the meeting, to when you are working with them in the business so that they can grow, make sure you are strengthening the relationships so that they feel I'm part of this family. They will never quit, by the way, because they feel loved. They feel this sense of, belonging. So that's very important. Cultivate relationships, genuine relationships. Empathize with them. When they have a challenge, try to help them. Now, get me right. You are not here to carry people's problems. But where you can mentor them, guide them, please do. So that's very important. Foster genuine relationships. Keep checking on them. Communication. Communicate with them regularly. Build a community so that you are a family. And you have to remember that relationships are built one person at a time. So if you have a team of 20 people, it is how you relate with the first one, how you relate with the second one, like that. And you better start when your team is small, so that as people come in bigger numbers, then you have time to also build relationships with them. So understand your people. Try to understand the team that God has given you. Number 5, as we get towards the end, is recognition. Recognize and reward success. When you sponsor somebody in the business, be keen to check on anything they do right, any achievement they make, and you celebrate it. Have you seen how we do it when people join our business? They have just joined, they have not done anything, but we are there dancing and clapping for them and prophetically telling them, wow, we are going to Amsterdam together. That is just from the beginning. What about when they become a manager? If you have a if you have someone who has joined your team and they have done some points, celebrate them. That's why every Tuesday, including today, we recognize those who are doing well, those who have sponsored, those who have done high personal points, because recognition is part of our team system. So please be on the lookout when your downline makes their very first sale. Oh my, please recognize them. I know you could be here, you are 3 days old. This is important information so that when you sponsor somebody, you know how to deal with them so that they can really be great leaders in your team. So recognize and reward success in your team. Motivate them. Okay. And the last one is focus on personal development. This is very important. Focus on personal development for yourself and for your team. You, as Jim Rohn says, you must work on yourself more than you work on the job or on the business. You must work on yourself more than you work at your job. Now, what this means is that success will always look for you. If you have grown to this high level, success will come up to where you are. But if miraculously you succeed very fast, and it has happened to many people, somehow they just got some crazy favor, they talked to people, and people just joined like immediately. So they got to the very high levels relatively within a very short time, but their leadership is down here, their personal development is down here. You know what happens? The business will always look for you. So the business starts crumbling down to where you are. So you better place yourself up here so that even if your business is struggling, it's a matter of time and it will catch up with you up there. What personal development does is that it enables you to also handle rejections, objections, all these challenges. Remember, when you are a baby, small challenges are like a mountain. But when you are an adult, even big challenges are not really as a big, threat to you. So make sure you are really working on yourself. Then duplicate the same to your team. Make sure they are also growing as leaders, as individuals. How do you make sure they are growing? If your team is not attending trainings, like now, oh my, this is one of the most practical things that I can ever talk about. So many people are not in this call. I pity them. I really, really pity them. Those who are not on this call. Because what that simply means is that they are missing a very critical opportunity that they would have used so that they can grow. I have seen people like Lydia Mwesa. She has been in the business for over over 13 years. She's here training in this call. I'm looking for directors. If you are here, you are a director, and I've not seen you, then forgive me. But you realize there are directors like I've seen Dr. Julia Ouko. She has been in the business for quite a number of years. I believe maybe you can chat down there, Dr. Julia, how many years you've been in this business. And she was the first one to log in today. But there are some people who just joined a year ago or 2 years, and they've become professors. They don't attend trainings. Alicia is here. She has not been here for a long time. Upcoming director, but very consistent, extremely consistent, never missing any meeting. But Alicia, just allow me to say, I was looking at those who have been there for now, Dr. Julia, 8 years, all those years, and they never miss these kind of trainings. That is the way to go. You know, there is something we call reskilling and retooling, making sure that you are always at the top of the game. Guess what? The saddest of of it all is some people have been in the business for so long, but you ask them to do this session, which I've done today. You ask them to train next week on Tuesday. They've been there for 6 years, but they never come for trainings. Ask them to train and they will not. In fact, you will be saying it's better they didn't even teach. You'll wonder, are they distributors or which level are they? So personal development is very, very important. Others, they don't know how to handle challenges because they've not grown. They're still babies. So what I'm saying, friends, is with a lot of respect, make sure you are really attending trainings. Make sure you are reading the right books. Don't go on reading books like My Life in Crime or those kind of books that don't really grow you. Listen to YouTube channels. Those motivational and inspirational speeches, and also read and listen to materials that are talking about our business so that you can master the business. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the 6 things that I wanted us to really reflect on. If you are to build a strong team, you must lead by example, implement simple onboarding process or system, cultivate new leaders in your team, foster genuine relationships, recognize and reward success, and number 6, focus on personal development. And when you do these things, make sure your downlines also do the same. And what will happen is you are going to build a team of leaders, not a team of followers. That is the ultimate goal. Because when you build followers, you add numbers. Your team will grow in terms of like addition. But when you build leaders, it's not addition, it is multiplication. So the growth is exponential. It grows, it starts small but grows very, very rapidly with time. So thank you so much for attending the training. I want to believe we are more equipped and we are ready to really build a strong team. And remember my starting point, you start alone, bring 1, bring 2, there are 3, 5, 10, and from the people you've brought, to surprise you that 2 or 3 of them will bring thousands of members. So with those few points, I want to stop at that point, and then we can wind up with the recognition that we do weekly.